What is a relational database?
A relational database is a type of database that organizes data into tables and links the tables based on a predefined relationship.
What are the steps involved in creating a relational database?
The steps involved in creating a relational database are: 1. Gather and organizes data in tables. 2. Create relationship between tables. 3. Refine and normalize tables. 4. Structure table in Microsoft Access. Let us go through step 1 in creating a relational database. In step 1, we need to gather and organize data in tables. First, we need to know the entity relationship diagram for your database.
How is entity relationship diagram related to relational database?
Microsoft Access is a relational database type. In this type of database, relationship between tables is predefined according to the entity relationship diagram.
So how do you organize data in a table?
Okay, first you need to know your table. Each table represents an entity. In this table, lecturer is the entity. These are all the fields for lecturer's table. The fields contain all information about the entity, lecturer. Each row in the table represents a record. A record contains all information on each lecturer. The first column normally is the primary key. A primary must be unique, because each record is referred to or identified by the primary key.
Then how do you link these tables?
Okay, let us go through the entities lecturer, class and course. The relationship is one-to-many from lecturer to class, and one-to-many from course to class. We can say that lecturers and courses information seldom change, hence, we call it static table, but as per class table, it changes every semester. The number of classes open is dependent on the availability of students and lecturers. Refer to the class table. Besides its own data, it also requires to pull information from lecturers and courses table. Instead of pulling the required information, it pulls the primary key instead. By having the primary key of any table, you can pull any information from that table. The primary key that appears within the field of another table is referred to as foreign key. Pulling of information from a database is done by query, as and when the information needed. Now, let us complete the whole database for the student course registration system. We can conclude that foreign key is only seen in tables that is at the many end instead of one of the entity relationship diagram.
What is normalization, from the context of relational database?
Normalization is the technique of organizing data in a relational database. Database contain many entities. Each entity will only keep data that is related to that entity.
Why is it required to normalize a database?
Normalization is required when data are not well separated between entities. A good example is, in a situation where an organization transforms its manual operation to computerized system, an Excel worksheet may contain this information taken from a class registration that was done manually.
What are the benefits of a normalization?
The benefits of normalization include: 1. Elimination of data redundancy. This is possible when each data is only kept in one place. 2. Adding new data and changing existing data can be done easily, since any changes need to be done in its table only.
Okay, now that I have collected all data, identify all the entities, figure out the link between these entities and draw entity relationship diagram, what is the next step in setting up my database?
I will not explain in detail how to use Microsoft Access. However, I will show the concept of data structure in Access. In Access, we can structure our database while in Design View. Once the structure is ready, we can enter the data while in Data Sheet View. Data entry can either be done in table or through forms. During structuring, all fields for each entity appear in a column. Each field has its own definition in terms of data type, length, and etc. One of the fields has to be the primary key. The primary key has to be unique. Once all the entity has been established, next is to link all the tables according to the entity relationship diagram. To ensure all tables link properly, make sure the foreign key in a table is the exact duplicate of the primary key for the table we are going to link. Only through correct link, we are able to retrieve the information.